I thought the screening room would be full. 20 people signed up. 3 close friends actually made it. At first I was really disappointed. I wanted the photos, I wanted the videos, I wanted the room full of people saying, yes, this matters. But then I realized something. The empty chairs were part of the story too. Because mothers are expected to show up for everyone, but when it's time to show up for mothers, the room is too often left empty. I'm Maria De Laurentiis Reyes. This is Finding the Upside. Thank you for joining me today. I want to share with you, taking you back a couple weeks ago to a movie screening that I hosted, No Country for Mothers. Reshma Saujani has created Moms First, an organization that has been working to advocate for moms, and she created this documentary which tells the story of where we are in our country with this issue. I signed on as an associate producer because this is the conversation I've been talking about and keep coming back to. Motherhood in America. The single phenomenon in this country that we don't have paid leave, we don't have support for childcare, there's issues with work and leadership, and the impossible math that families are expected to solve alone. On top of that, right now in America, we have a culture war, a politically motivated push to pit women against one another and judge them. Girl boss versus trad wife, the manufactured war to make us as women fight one another instead of the system. The United States is the only industrialized nation in the world that has no national paid leave. Childcare is unaffordable for too many families, and we have built a country where the workday and the school day do not even match. We have sold mothers a con. Work like you don't have children, parent like you don't have work, pay for childcare that can cost as much as rent or a mortgage, then blame yourself when the math doesn't work. We tell mothers that they are the ones that are failing, but that's a lie. The system is failing us. This documentary happened to be announced right when I was starting working on an episode that looks at motherhood across generations. I talk about this issue frequently on this podcast, but I really wanted to explore this and hear from mothers, from baby boomers down to millennials, because I believe the struggle transcends generations, and the same current culture war that this documentary shows might be the reason. We also see too often companies treat childcare as a personal problem. They blame the employee, the mother, the family, or the schedule. But if the system makes it nearly impossible for people to work and parent, then leadership cannot keep calling that an individual failure. This voicemail that I received from Reshma reminded me why I said yes.
Hi, this is Reshma from Moms First. I just want to call and say thank you for hosting a screening for No Country for Mothers. I know it takes a lot of time, and I just want to say thank you for investing in this movement, for being a part of this movement, and I hope you have an amazing weekend, Maria. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Not because every room would be full, but because every conversation plants something and supports moving this conversation forward. The upside is, once we see it clearly, we can't stop carrying that shame that was never ours to carry. We can talk about it as women together. We can organize around it. We can build better workplaces. We can vote differently. We can lead differently. We can demand policy that supports us. Mothers are not the failure. The system is. It was never built to give us a fair chance, and it's time we show up for mothers. A full room would have been beautiful, but even a small room can start a conversation that matters, and this one is far from over, and that is exactly why this film matters. So please, get involved. There are tons of volunteer-led screenings, just like the one I hosted, that are still happening, as well as virtual screenings that make it easy to watch this film. Share it. Share this information, this film, and this cause, and start conversations to elevate this issue. We are the ones that will change this, but only if we show up together. Thanks for joining me today. Please check the show notes for more resources and go see No Country for Mothers so we can change the motherhood experience in America.